guys, in this video we'll learn how to create this simple hero section over here. So we'll learn how to create a simple hero section for a Next.js or React project. So let's get onto it. If you don't have FunUI installed on your React or Next.js project, make sure to install it either with yarn or npm. Install the React icons packages to use icons. After that, import our CSS file on your root layout and let's design. So guys, let's start from where we stop. So if you have no idea on how we design this simple app bar, so this is the app bar, make sure to check our previous video. That's the video on how to design the app bar before we continue. So I'll leave a link to the video so that you can check the video before you come back. So now I want to design a simple home page or a simple hero section. So first we need to import the full centered page. So let me import full, can I spell full? Sorry, full centered page. So like this, full centered page from FunUI CSS /UI /specials, is special / full centered page. So this is the component I need, the full centered page. So the full centered page will give our component a minimum height of 100 viewport height. That's the height of the person's screen, so that the hero section will fit the height of the person's screen, and then the full centered page will bring all the content to the center of the screen. So let me come over here to have my full centered page. So full centered, can I spell centered? Full centered page, right? So if I write something over here, so let's just write a simple text element. So maybe if I write something like text, then text is equals to maybe content to center. So if I close this, then I save, and if I open, we'll have this content at the center of the screen over here. So if I change this, let me just remove this over here, and we'll have a div over here. So this is the div over here. So inside the div, first I'll have a button. So let me just write button, then I'll close the button. So let's head over to the documentations to learn about the button. So let me go to buttons. So the button have the start icon prop, and we also have the end icon prop over here. So if I come over here, we have the start icon. So we have start icon. So this start icon prop is used to place an icon before the text of the button, but that doesn't mean it needs to be an icon. It can also be a text or any other component. So for me, I'm going to use a text. So if I can write something like maybe let's go, so something like this over here. And we can also have the text of the icon, so to something like maybe read more. Okay, read more. So we have the end icon prop to place an icon at the end of the button. So I'll use an icon over here. So I'll use the pi arrow. Is it arrow down? So arrow, no, arrow left. Is it left or no, it's right? The pi arrow right from React icons. So I'll click on this to import it. So let me check. So we have it imported over here. So I'll use the self-closing tag to close this over here. So if I open, and then we'll have this button over here. So this is the let's go, this is the read more, and this is the arrow over here. So if we head over to here, we have a prop called the outline prop. Where is the outline? So this is the outline. So the outline prop is used to create an outline button. So if I come over here, then I give it a background color of maybe primer. So primer, so that's the background primer. So if I come over here, then we'll have this primary button. But if I change this, no, let me leave it, and if I add the outline prop, then I save, so we'll have this outline button over here. So I can also change the color of the outline button. So let me just change the color over here. So to change the color of the outline, I can change it to something like dark. So I can change it to dark. So we'll have this over here. So to change the color of the text, we are going to use the color prop. So color, so I can change it to something like primary. So if we refresh, the color of the text will be changed to primary, but it will affect everything. So I want to change the color of this text to dark instead of primary, so that this will be dark and this will be the primary color. So let me change the text first. So let me just remove everything here. Then I'll place a text component. So with the text prop, so let's go with the text, this text over here. So I'll close the text. So we can then change the color of the text to something like maybe dark. So dark. So if I save and then I open, so the color of the text will be changed to dark while this will remain primary. So we can also use the rounded prop. So let me write rounded to create a round button so that the button will be round. So we'll come down to the button, then we'll write the hero text. So let me write the hero text below the button. So I'll come down over here. I'll have my text component over here. So let me close it. So let me remove this. So we have the text, then maybe something like data. So let me data to enrich your online business. So data to enrich your online business. So if I open this, we'll have this. So if you check, the text is inline. So that's because the text component is an inline component. So if I want to change it to a block component, I'll simply write block. So if I open, it will convert the text to a block component. So I'll also come down to increase the size of the text. So to increase the size, I can use the size prop. So we can write jumbo. Okay, jumbo to increase it, to make it big. So if we check, the text is bigger. So data to enrich your online business. So you can open the documentation to the text to check all the props and how to use them. So I'll now center everything. So now I want to bring everything to the center. So I want to align them to the center. So I'll look for the div that is containing everything. So this is the div containing the button and also the text. So I'll come down, I'll come to the div, then I'll write class name, and I can use the text center class. So if I write text center, so it will bring them to the center, it will align everything to the center. So now if we check, the text over here has stretched too much. So now I want to wrap them in a container where the container will have a minimum width of at least 40 pixels, so that the text will just end here, maybe from here to here. So let me write something like maybe, so if I write width maybe 500/max, then it means I want the maximum width of the container to be 500 pixels. So we'll have this container over here. So let me increase it. 500 is too much, so let me make it something like 700 pixels. So 700 pixels. So I think 700 pixels is okay. So now we have this over here. So now let's put a space or a gap between the text and then the button above. So to put the space, I'll use the section. So section. So let's import it first. So I'll go over here, then I'll import. So import section from funuicss/ui/specials/section. So the section is used to create a gap between elements or a margin between elements. So I can then specify the gap. So I can write gap over here. Then I can use something like 1, so that I'll put a space between the text and then the button above. So now we have this. So let's put another text below. So now I want to put a text below this. So I'll come over here, then I'll copy this, both the section and the text, then I'll duplicate them down so that we have a gap between the hero text and then the text below it. So that for the text below it, I'll use some Lauren. So I'll like Lauren to have this dummy text. So let me copy the text, then I'll replace this with some dummy text over here. So the size, for the size, I'll just move the size to have a normal text. So if I open, so we'll have this. But if you check, there isn't enough line spaces between the text. So if you check, this text is just together, there isn't much space between the text. So to fix this, I'll use the article. So article prop. So now we have this text over here. So I'll then come down to put 2 buttons. So I'll put a button over here and I'll put another button over here. So let me come down. Let me first of all copy the section, then I'll bring it down. Then we'll have our buttons. So let's wrap the buttons in the row flex so that the buttons will be in the form of a row. So we have the first button over here. So for the first button, we have the text. So we have the text. So I can write something like getting. So getting started. We can have the BG of primary. So we can use the raise prop to create a raise button. So if I open this, you have this button over here. So let's bring it to the center. So to bring it to the center, I'll come to the row flex, then we'll have the justify prop. Then I can just make it center to bring it to the center. So if I come over here, it will bring the button to the center over here. So now let's place the next button. So let me duplicate this with Shift Alt and down. So for this, I don't want to have a background, I just want to have the color as primary. Then I'll change this to something like maybe learn more. So maybe learn more, and I'll remove the race. So if I come, I'll have this learn more button over here. So I'll put an icon just like this. I'll put the arrow here. So what do I mean? So let me come over here, and then now I have an end icon. Then I can put the icon is pi arrow right. Then I'll close the icon. So if I come, there'll be an arrow over here. So now let's put a space. Let's put a gap between our buttons. So I'll come to my row flex and I'll have a gap of maybe 1. So if I come, there'll be a gap between our buttons. So let's also increase the space between the button and the text. So to increase the space, I'll come to the gap over here for this section. So let me just make it 1.5 to increase the space. So okay, I've increased the space a little bit. So now I can also change the color of this text. So let me change the color of the text color to maybe dark. Let's make it dark 500. So okay, dark 500. So I think this is okay. No, dark 500 is too much. Let's just make it something like 300. So that you can check the documentations. You can go to colors and learn how to use the colors. So this is the colors you can use. So we have this simple hero section and the up bar over here.